I have a messy paint table, but it's fine. Everything is fine. All right, so we are going to paint this adorable patchwork strawberry, okay? And some of these don't have things in them on my video, but all of yours will have designs in there for the most part. I'm gonna start with some white in this section right here. So this cute little strawberry here. Did I get too much paint? Absolutely, I did. I'm gonna use white here too. I'm just kind of deciding to do reds, whites, and pinks, and of course green for the top. I'm obsessed with all the patchwork stuff, and I mean, strawberries are always good. If you don't like strawberries, there's something wrong with you. I love a good strawberry. I mean, there's really not anything wrong with you. I probably shouldn't say that. That sounds mean, but. I can't believe if you don't like strawberries. I'm a berry girl. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, all the things. So we're gonna do these cutie pies here with white. And then we're gonna do some shades of pink, shades of red, just kind of switching it up. So let's do some pink here. And I'm just gonna keep the white brush and go in with a pink. Let's do some pink up here. And I'm not worried about the fact of, because my green, I'm gonna paint green over the top of this. I'm not stressing over the fact that this has got a little bit of, this pink's went into my green area. Because we'll fix that a little bit later. No stress, no stress. And then I'm gonna do this little section right here, pink too. Oh, I got a little bit of pink in my, my white there. Leave it up to me, because I sling paint. I'm actually think I'm gonna do this section. One of the sections a little bit darker. Maybe that top one I'll do a little bit darker. But it's gonna take 2 coats. So this one I'm gonna do this color here. All right. And then we gotta have a red because duh, it's a strawberry. Okay. So then we'll do a red. Let me get some red paint and put it on my thing here. I got to clean my paint table off. So let's do red here. Love a good red. This red is probably like my favorite red. It is Hobby Lobby's Crafters Collection. Their red. It's just a really good red color. It's a good Christmas red. It's a good Valentine's red. It just covers all the, it just has a really good, it doesn't have that orange undertone that some reds can have that I don't like. I love that this is like a good, pretty red color. All right, and then I'm gonna do this like a really pale pink, and I'm gonna do this red. I'm gonna come in and add different things in these, so like, I'm just kind of gonna paint the sections in first. I don't know what I'm doing on them, on each one of them, but I'm just gonna paint the sections and then we'll go from there. And I really want this up here to be red too. So let's just go ahead and paint this section red. I'm gonna add other things so it won't look like literally the same, you know, the same color. I'll kind of change it up a little bit. Hopefully, we'll see. It's gonna come together, I feel it. I got a little out of line there. And I'm just gonna do this, and then of course we're gonna paint the green over that, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay. All right. So we got our, I think I'm gonna paint this one just a little bit of a brighter, like pink, just a different shade. So I'm gonna take that red brush that's already got red paint on it, and I'm gonna mix in with my pink to make just a different shade of pink. So this is gonna be more of like a hot pink, I guess you could say. Just a little bit of a different shade. Only because I don't want it to be so, I don't want it to look so uniform, because I feel like it's like all the same three colors. So I'm trying to break it up a little bit and give it some different colors. So we're gonna do a little bit of hot pink here. All right, there we go. And then let's do like a, this is gonna be pink, but I think I'm gonna do like a really pale pink down here. So I wanna add white to it. So I'm just gonna take some white paint and mix it in with my brush here and do a pale pink. Actually, I'm gonna take a cup because I seem to not be able to get that color the way I want it. So I'm gonna swirl it around. That's better. Sometimes it's hard to do it on a paper like plate or whatever. So it's a little bit easier if you do it on in a cup. And I love these little condiment cups. I just buy them by the box at like Sam's, and they do the trick. All right, so let's dry this, and then we will come back and start working on some of the details on our thing. Okay, all right, so now I'm gonna work on doing the green for our top, and I'm just gonna use like this sort of like olivey green, but I'm gonna add like just some of the like traditional like green in there with it. I'm just trying to kind of mix and make a color that I don't want it to be a bright green. I'm trying to sort of make a more muted tone. I'm just gonna do the whole top the same. I could have chosen to do like a different thing, but I'm gonna just do the top, the complete, it's just gonna have the same pattern on it all the way through, just because I think it might get a little too crazy. It may not, I don't know. I may end up changing my mind when I start, but I think I'm gonna just keep it all the same pattern up here with something kind of simple like polka dots or something like that. So, okay. And this is probably gonna take 2 coats. Usually green ends up taking a couple of coats, but we will just let it dry while we work on another part, okay? So I'm gonna flip this around, and then I think I wanna do the dots on this red. And only because I know the strawberry is red, but I feel like it needs to have red dots. And I'm just gonna use a paint pen for this. So it is kind of a different shade. It's not the same paint color that I use to paint in the red, okay? And that is just so I have a different tone, different color. So I'm just using my marker here, and I'm just tracing around the edge of my circles and then painting them in. And they may take a couple coats on this white. Okay. Let's see. I'm left-handed, so like I feel like I have to like do things backwards sometimes. So I decided to do some big polka dots on these, and then I'll do some little polka dots in some other places. Okay, so I did those dots, and then I have I want to do red hearts down here. But I think I want to make the red just like a different shade of red again. And I have some brown, so I'm just going to mix a little brown in with this to make like a deeper shade of red for my hearts. That might be too dark. And actually, I'm going to end up having to get a smaller brush because that is not working. And this paint is a little bit like chunky. It's been sitting, that brown. So this is literally not the best. Probably should have used a paint pen. I'm not doing a very good job. I'm a little tired. It's late and I've ate supper and I'm tired. So I'm feeling my hand is a little shaky because it's saying, Ashley, it's time to close up shop. You've done enough today. Okay, so there's our little hearts. Those are cute. Cute little hearts. I might actually end up going back over those with a paint pen a little bit later, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We will cross it when we get there. I thought I had a pink in this, I should have a pink marker in here. Oh, there it is. Duh. Can't see. So I think I'm gonna do like a little pink flower here. And this pink is more of like a salmony color pink, which is fine. I'm just gonna use, of course, this flower is already on your design, okay? That's the thing I love about when I'm painting these, is you kind of see my creative process, and you can see where my vision goes from one way to the other, and it changes. So I love that part of the process of doing this. So I know it might be nerve-wracking to people sometimes, because like I'm probably saying something and you're like, look, it's already on there, lady. Like, what are you talking about? But it's me going through the motions of having the things already on here. And I'm using a paint pen only because it goes a little bit faster, and you know, it will speed the process up a little bit. But literally you can use paint, okay? This is just my process because I'm trying to speed the process up a little bit and not take forever to paint in. And I'm wanting to have different sort of, I'm wanting to have these different colors and different, you know, shades and everything. So I don't want it to all be the same colors, because then it doesn't look as good. So when we add all these different flavors in, it looks better. It looks better. Okay, so let's do this right here. I made some little strawberries on this pattern right here. So we're gonna paint those in. And I'm just using the paint pen, the red paint pen. And then I've got a green paint pen that I will use to do the tops. Okay, and then let's do some white polka dots down here. Okay, I had white paint pen earlier today. What I did with it, I don't know. I'm like the world's worst at throwing. Oh, there it is. Duh, actually. There it is right there. So let's do some white dots here. We're going to do them pretty close together. And then I think I want to do another floral pattern here, maybe. Or maybe let's do some stripes here, and then maybe we'll pick up a floral pattern up there. So let's do here a little striped pattern. And I think we can do that. Let's see what happens if we use this red. I don't know if it's going to show up, though. That's the only thing. I don't think it's the right color to show up. I'm thinking I might have to get one of my like darker red paint pens to make it show up. Yeah, I don't think that's showing up as good as I want it to. Okay, so I'm grabbing my paint pens. My paint pen bucket over here. And let's see how this red looks on here. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a different shade too, but I'm just trying to see if it's showing up. I think it is. Yeah, I think that's showing up pretty good. So we're just gonna do like some stripes here, like that. And then make that we got that. And then I think I'm gonna come in with maybe like, let's see what this color looks like. Can't really see it. I mean, you can see it in person decent, but I don't know how good it shows up. It's gonna show up online, but on like a, let's take the white too, and maybe let's do like a line on the outside like that. And I'm doing this pretty quick so that my lines don't get too shaky. You know, it happens. Yeah, that's kind of cute. I like that. Okay. Sometimes it's just a trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Just a trial and error. Okay, and I have a darker red, and I can't remember what I did with it. I had it the other day. Yeah, there it is. Because I want to go in, I think this one might be just busted. We're gonna see. This is actually a dark red Posca, but I want to go in and clean up my lines a little bit on my hearts because they went a little crazy. But I think this red is officially done for painting, so we need to just chunk that. It's hung out as long as it could hang out, guys. As long as it could hang out. I've got this kind of mulberry color, and I think I might just use it. Because here's the thing, as long as you stay like in the red family, I think you're good. So, of course, you know, I'm just winging it here, but I think this kind of has a little bit of a purple undertone to it, but I think it works. I think it's okay. I think it looks cute. I think it'll be fine. I think, right? I think. Okay. So then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna paint in my, this is a brand new pen. It needs a little priming. And I'm just painting the tops of my strawberries with the green. I'm actually gonna add some little white dots in this too. Just so it sort of has the same, like, I want to give it sort of a fun little pattern too. So I think I'm gonna do like a white dot, a bigger white dot, like in the center here, like that, like in between some of these. Yeah, that looks cute. I'm liking that. I think that looks good. Very simple, nothing crazy. Okay. This I want to do sort of like a buffalo check, okay? So what I need to do is I'm going to come in with like this sort of hot pink color. Try to make a hot pink color, somewhat of a hot pink color. And we're gonna come in with, let's see what's the best way to go. That one's going diagonal, so let's go straight like this, okay? Okay, so we're gonna do a cute little buffalo check pattern, or attempt a buffalo check pattern. It may turn out to be a train wreck, okay? Just know that in advance. Because you can't win them all. Okay. And then we're gonna have a little bit of this pattern showing right there. All right. All right, and then we'll go back the other way. So we'll go back the other way with cross. All right, so we got that little check pattern, but then we need to do the red in the center to make it, of course, you know, darker in the center. So we're gonna get our red, and then we're gonna go back right here in the middle with our little bit of like a darker red, okay? So I'm mixing that up here to make our buffalo check pattern. I'm just gonna go right here in the center and then just pop that in wherever they cross. This might end up looking pretty hideous, but we're going with it. You just own it. You know, when it starts looking a little crazy, you just own it and just be like, yeah, I did that. Was it a good idea? Probably not, Ashley, but we did it anyway. Okay, so I feel like I'm gonna come back with this, and I'm gonna like do a little I want to take the actual just plain old red, okay? Just some plain old red. And I want to do a little like dry brush over it. Kind of smearing it a little bit. That's kind of cute. I'm kind of liking it. All right, so what am I going to do up here on this one? I think I'm going to do, I don't know. I kind of feel like I need like I don't know. I don't know. What do I need? I kind of like the idea of like a different little flower up here, but I don't know what kind of flower. And making it red. So maybe like, let's just do like some little like X flowers, you know, like that, simple ones. Remember, this is already on yours, but I'm talking my way through it. The biggest thing is I just got to be able to do whatever whatever I put on here. I got to be able to do it on my computer. So that's the kicker. Just gotta make sure I can digitally do it, you know? Because if I can't, I don't need to be doing it. Because then I'm gonna be making my life hard. I'm gonna be making it hard for myself. That's cute. I'm liking that. I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. Okay, so the only thing that I'm really not liking is the red on these circles here. I don't like that shade. I do feel like I'm gonna go over them and make them just a little bit darker. And of course you can choose to do these a different color. It doesn't necessarily have to be reddish or red. I'm doing more of a red. But you know, if you wanted pink or whatever, that works too. Okay, all right. So we have that. I'm gonna put all these brushes into my cup of water because they're gonna dry out on me. It's about time to wash some brushes because I'm making a mess up here. All right, let's do another coat on that. It's really cute though. I mean, it's busy, but it's cute. And then I'm gonna do another coat of green, and then I'm gonna blow dry it, and then we'll do the pattern on the top up here. Let's dry this. So I'm gonna dry it, pause and dry, and then we'll come back and we'll add the finishing details. All right, friend, welcome back. And we're just going to do something really simple on the top. I'm just gonna do some little polka dots all over the top, kind of spreading them out. I don't want them to be as close as they are on the bottom because the top, I don't want to be quite as busy, you know, because the bottom's really busy. So I'm trying to keep the top kind of a little tame. And I want to add some little just green lines maybe on this, just to add, like, to fill in. So just put some little green lines on there. And then I do need to add some centers to these flowers. And I think I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of yellow, like right here in these flowers. Yeah, super cute. Okay, and I mean, I feel like I probably could, before I do outlines, I do feel like these flowers could use another coat of pink. And this is a completely different shade. Like, honestly, like, it's not my favorite shade, but I think it works for all the different tones. And, you know, just, it needed something sort of muted in this spot, and just to add a different color, you know. So that's why I kind of chose to do that, because I didn't want it to be too bright. And then I think I'm going to use the yellow again here to do the seeds on these strawberries. Instead of doing black seeds, I'm just going to do yellow, because I want the black to only be for the lines that I'm dividing it up and, you know, doing the stitches. Okay, so I'm going to take my black paint pen and I'm going to go in and I'm going to go along the seams of these, and then I'm going to do like little X's for the seams, just fun little X's. Okay, and I'm going to do that for every single seam. I really need to clean my paint table off. So everywhere where there's a seam, we'll have little X's. And you can do them smaller, bigger, whatever. I'm kind of doing them sort of big. But I do like them to show up. Okay. Oh my gosh, how flipping cute is this? This is adorable. And here's the thing, like, you know, I might get off the lines a little bit in a few places. I ain't stressing over it. Will not be stressing over it. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Okay. And then up here, I'm not actually gonna do stitches up here because this is the top. So I'm just going to do this, the outline on there, and then just sort of leave it, okay? Like that. I think I'm just gonna leave it pretty simple. And then I will come around the edge with like a squiggly line. I think I like the squiggly line better than a straight line. Just to give it some character. Just to give it a little character. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, I can't even right now. Okay, and I do have like some really small paint pens that I want to use to outline like these flowers. I don't want them to be really, I want them to be pretty thin outlines. So I'm gonna use these paint pens here to do some little thin black outlines on these flowers, and even on the little tiny strawberries that's on here. And the purpose for that is I just like to, I like those black outlines, okay? If you've been watching, you know I very rarely do not go with a black outline, or I use black somewhere. It's just such a good contrast. And it just helps bring it all together. So I'm just gonna use the black to sort of do a little outline on this. I'm not making sure that it's perfect, but I do wanna have like a little bit of black on there. Just kind of going around and adding that. And then I'll do the same thing up here with these flowers. Just kind of doing a quick like little outline around it, and I'm not even making sure that like I literally get like on the lines. I'm just sort of adding it in. Okay, so cute. All right, and then I could actually even do like the little black outline around that if I wanted to, just to kind of add a little bit of a contrast on it. Doesn't even have to be exactly around it. And I could even throw in like this color here. I could even throw in like some little white, those light pink polka dots in there in between too, just to have some lighter pink colors in there. I mean, you can't Like, listen, you can't mess it up. You know, you're wanting it to have just really a lot of texture and to make it look like it is like a little patchwork. You've took different fabrics and stuck them together to make this strawberry. But I think that's so cute. Like, I'm like over the moon about that. I think it's precious. So I might actually come back with this red marker here. I just want to see how this looks if I go in with the red marker and just sort of define these lines a little bit. I don't know that it's going to make much of a difference, but you know, I'm just kind of playing around. This is where you can just sort of do your own thing. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong or right about what I'm doing, okay? I'm just choosing to just add some little texture to it and sort of hopefully clean my lines up. I could do a more like really distinct buffalo check if I wanted to tape off and all that, but listen, we're not about that life over here, okay? I'm just not doing that. That requires way too much effort and I don't have it in me. So I'm not doing it. It takes way too long to do that. So not going there. I am trying to touch up some of my squares a little bit because they got a little out of whack. So I thought I would just sort of touch them up a little bit and just clean up some of my squares. Because sometimes that happens when you're like painting, you know, you just start painting and you don't realize that you're just making a mess. I do that all the time. So I'm just sort of going back in and kind of cleaning up in a few places. But there we go. Cute, huh? That's adorable. Oh my gosh. I think that turned out really cute. I think it turned out super, super cute. I feel like my pattern probably got a little more wide over here, but it's fine. Like, I don't stress over that kind of stuff. It's such a cute design. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to finish him off with a bow and some twine, and I'll put a picture at the end of this video. And so stick around, check it out, and let me know what you think. So have a great day, friend, and I'll see you next time.